welcome to Constructed Clash. I'm Spencer. This is Matt Kling.
Hey, how's it going?
Today, Matt, we are recording a historic matchup, one for the ages, in Historic. So Matt Kling was talking mad stuff on, Captain Falcon in Smash. So today, in honor of Captain Falcon, I'm bringing the fire, Matt. I'm bringing the fire, as the kids say.
I'm not really sure how a burn deck correlates to Captain Falcon, and if it did, I feel like that would also make my argument that he's not hype.
But yeah, we are playing Mono Red versus Blue Green Emry. Matt, are you playing the Teamer version, or are you playing straight Blue Green? Are you playing Sultai?
Yeah, I'm playing the Teamer version. I think Escape to the Wilds is like one of the better cards in Historic right now. So
yeah. So the actual real reason I wanted to play Mono Red is I actually think that Chandra is in a decent position right now. And I didn't want to play Rakdos or Jund. Just because I just didn't want to do it, fumble like that on camera. I just didn't have enough time to test those decks this week. So I was like, you know what? I can play some Burn. Like, whatever. But I do think that Chandra, and for what it's worth in my testing now, Hazoret, are both pretty well positioned in this format.
Yeah, I think Hazoret's just great in general. But yeah, I think Chandra is also very strong. So makes sense.
For the Emry deck, I want to talk about some stuff because I've actually decided that I will just concede to infinite combos during this video.
Yeah, I assumed that the ropes wouldn't be a thing, even though it is a big problem on Arena specifically.
Yeah, so I want to discuss it before we play, and then, but I am going to concede to Matt if he goes off, just because there's no reason for me to rope Matt and get a win. But Matt, what happens? What are the combos that you're going to be looking for, and why is it so difficult on Arena?
I mean, the reason that it's difficult on Arena is because you're basically drawing your whole deck one card at a time, through like 3 actions each time. So it is a little bit it's a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like it just has a lot of moving pieces to it. So it's game action tribal.
Yeah, it's definitely true. But I mean, regardless of where you start to, it still is
right. You
end up in. I need to take,
Yeah, to be fair, I've only roped I think maybe twice in the 30 or 40 matches I've played with the deck.
So how does I mean, we all know how Burn's gonna win, right? Like I'm gonna try and win through, attacking, and
right.
There's just Chandra is like the only card advantage. I guess that's not true. There's the draw too, but I'm not trying to win through valuing you out. I very much am going to be the aggressor in this game. Even though you're playing a combo deck, I still have to beat down before you can go off. So what are the different combos in the Emry deck, and kind of what are you looking for going into this matchup?
I mean, the basic combo is just having non-land permanents that produce mana and Paradox Engine, and that's the combo. There are a few more specific ones like Emry, Paradox Engine, and 2 Mox Ambers will be infinite mana. Mox Amber plus Chromatic Spear will be infinite draw. There's a couple of other ones as well. Like if you, for instance, have enough mana rocks to make this work, and then go play Karn and get Portal Sanctuary and play Uro, you can bounce it with the trigger on the stack for infinite mana and infinite draws.
Yeah, so it reminds me of kind of the pod deck in Modern, where you're not necessarily like a dedicated combo. Like it's not one thing. It's a culmination of things that come together. Or maybe a better example of this is the Modern deck. What is it called? Holy crap! The one that got banned that took 300-minute turns.
KCI?
Yeah, not quite KCI, but kind of that KCI-esque, like lots of different paths.
It kind of feels like that sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, lots of different paths to the same point.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the best analogy for the deck. It's the one that it's most similar to in my experience. So
yeah. So I think that before the three best of threes, we should make a prediction, and I actually would predict a straight up 3-0 for Mono Red here.
Well, are we gonna play 3 sets or just is first to 2?
That's fair. First to 2 is what we will play. So
Okay.
I guess I would predict a 2-0 for Mono Red.
I would also predict that. I also predicted to be 4-0 in games. So
Interesting.
I think this matchup is almost unwinnable. Like I'm gonna have to get very lucky to win a game.
Yeah, I will say that Mono Red can have the Mono Red problem, right? Where like, you just.
I mean, that's part of getting lucky. You just mulligan to 4 or whatever.
Yeah,
You know?
or like I just draw mono 3 drops, right? And like
Yeah.
it just doesn't come together. But I've gotten to play this matchup. I don't know, 4 or 5 times on ladder, and none of the games have been close. Like your creatures are just too small, is really what it comes down to even stand a chance against like Shark, Lightning Strike, and Wizard's Lightning.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, it's really hard to do everything from hand in a matchup where you're going to be dead on turn 5 a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you basically just have to be able to stick something where you don't have a removal spell or like overload one turn, because like the things that I'm trying to put in play are actually pretty cheap. So it's like it's definitely possible that I can just like play, Llanowar, Elfkin, and Emry all in one turn, and then like have the extra one of whichever one you decide to kill.
Yeah. Do you want to lead on rocks or lead on dorks in this matchup, do you think?
I would prefer to lead on the mana rocks. Well, it kind of depends on the context of your hand, right? Like if for instance I was trying to protect an Emry or something, I might lead on an elf to just try to bait out a removal spell. If I had like Kinnan plus Karn, then I would definitely want to lead on the rocks just to like try to play the Kinnan and the Karn in the same turn.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I would tend to want to lead on rocks, but I guess it's possible that like if you have Emry, that entire equation kind of goes out the window.
Right.
So, all right. Well, as we've both predicted a swift 2-0 for me and 4-0 in games from you, we will be sure to see how this 2-0 for Matt Kling goes. Because that's just how the commentator's curse goes, man. Like, you're like, we're both very confident that Mono Red is favored here, and that just means that we're both gonna go on this other side. We'll see on the flip side where things are different. But we're going to, by the way, be recording in the same room and talking through the games. But that is subject to change as we evolve this series and things like that. So if you have preferences on how you want things to be done, how you think that these videos should play out, please leave a comment, let us know. But we will see you guys in just a moment with the gameplay from this week's Constructed Clash. All right, and welcome to the matches. Matt, you crushed me last time, even though I won the people didn't get to see it because I had to reformat my computer, but you crushed me last time, even though I won that die roll. So hopefully...
Oh man, I forgot that the videos didn't get posted last time.
Dude, it was so tilting. I totally could have saved them, like just uploaded them somewhere.
Right.
I just forgot.
Yeah, no, it's believable.
I think that my hand is a keep, so I will keep mine.
Mine's a pretty clear mulligan, so this one is a keep though.
And you won the die roll, correct?
Yes, I did.
Oh. We were kind of talking about this before we hit the record button, but one of the changes that I am considering making to this deck, Matt, is Robber of the Rich. It has not been great for me, and I wonder if Earthshaker Kenra would be better.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely possible.
How's your
the
7
problem is
looking here?
I need all 7 of these cards, so it's really hard.
I was gonna say this is a long mulligan decision.
Yeah. It's just rough. Like whatever I put back is definitely gonna be detrimental.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about this mulligan later if you want to take a screenshot. Oh,
I just already finished it.
Yeah,
so.
it's okay. I'm sure you'll remember.
I mean, I can just talk to you about it now. I just had Elf, Kinnan, a Mana Rock, Karn, and a Paradox Engine in lands, so it was just hard to figure out what to put back.
Sure. So here, because of the draw that we just had, I'm definitely going to lead on this shock. I think that, having these two together is just going to make that easier, especially since we need the Llanowar Elf gone for this. Oh, well, now my shock looks really stupid, Matt Kling.
I just assumed you were saying that you drew another removal spell.
I did not. So we'll attack here. We're kind of in trouble here. But I think we'll be okay long term. We just need to draw another removal spell. But looking back on that shock, it was probably wrong. We actually probably should have led on the Bowman Courier. And we're in pretty big trouble here if Matt plays specifically Karn, I think.
I could play Karn. I'm just debating on what I actually would get with Karn, if there's anything that makes sense to get.
I guess I just assume that you have something with Karn. I don't know what your sideboard looks like.
I mean, I probably have to get something that I could play this turn, and I don't think there's anything good for 1 mana.
Sure.
Don't love shocking here, but, you know, it is what it is.
Okay, so, because we probably need to kill this... We probably need to kill this Kinnan still. Maybe we don't. What is the options here? So, yeah, we probably do, because we need to stop this Moxamber from killing us.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you had a optimal line this turn that didn't involve killing the cannon, if you had the option to do so.
So we're going to go ahead and look for a removal spell. We did not find one. We do have one next turn, but I don't know if that will help us enough.
I assume it's Chandra.
No, it's a Shatter Skull Smashing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you have such an optimistic view. I just assumed you already had the removal spell lined up. You're like, oh, I probably should kill this Kinnan this turn.
Hey, man, I'm a believer.
Yeah, clearly. That's what I'm learning. Man, that was such a good draw.
Oh, don't tell me that.
But it was, though.
Yeah, I do think that turn 1 misplay was pretty big. Like, if I had had Bowmat Courier on turn 1, I could have killed the Kinnan and pretty happily attacked with double Bowmat Courier for a couple turns. So big cost there for that. So here, I think you go off, right? Like you just grab a 2-mana rock.
I don't know how that helps me.
Does it not?
Why would that do anything?
Oh, you said your draw was good, so I assumed you had another spell that would pop you off.
I do have another spell, but what do I do with it? Like, I mean, I don't have any way to draw cards.
Got it. You don't have 7 mana to activate your Kinnan? I don't understand.
Well, I actually might have that, which is what I'm trying to figure out right now.
For what it's worth, you can just ignore all of my thoughts on the deck you're playing, because I, have played it a total of 0 times.
That's fair. I'm sure that somebody smarter than me could figure out a really good play here.
Leave a comment. Tell us we'll leave the deck list. You tell us how Matt wins here. Mason Clark, tell us how Matt wins here. Leave a comment. Wait, you said somebody smarter than you. My bad.
Yeah.
Daggers. Just kidding, Mason. I love you.
Where are we right now? My turn, first main?
Yeah.
Okay. 2, 4, 5. 5 mana.
All of the mistakes that I made, you're still pretty close to dead, like, on board. Ooh, that's a good draw. Nice. So, do you go for the Soul Scar here or the Robber? I would assume the Robber, but
Yeah, I also think it's Robber.
so I think we're in pretty big trouble here.
I mean, you have the Shatter Skull to kill the Kinnan, right? That seems at least decent.
Yeah.
You should have played the Land from Exile, though.
Oh, I should have. Thank you. Well, is that true though? Because of Robber?
Yeah, that's still true.
Okay.
You're really far away from being able to draw cards with Robber anyway. Like,
That's true. I mean, also
I have 0 cards in hand right now, so.
So here, I think we're in pretty big trouble because Karn. I think we actually just have to kill Karn.
Oh yeah, there's no way you don't attack the Karn.
Like, you can't really let this Sky Sovereign just become a creature and attack, because it's just too much advantage there. Well, that's probably one of our better case scenarios for what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, by like almost definitionally, it's your best case scenario, right? Because I could always have made that play.
Sure. Yeah.
If I'm making a play that's not that, then it's just better than that.
Yeah. So here we're going to play Chandra, make some manas, and deal Matt some damages. One of the nice things here is that even if Matt does end up playing this Giganta, because of the Soul Scar Mage, Giganta will be pretty small. But you do seem like you're now in trouble.
Yeah, I agree.
One of the nice things, though, is that Giganta can just get this flagship, though, and I did not think about that. But I guess that's actually.
I mean, if I could crew the Sky Sovereign, that would be something. I unfortunately don't have the Mox Amber for mana. I drew an Emry this turn.
But sure. I understand. I forgot that the
if I
Mox
mill an
Amber needs
Uro, if I mill an Uro, I can win this game maybe. Okay, we did not mill an Uro, so I'm dead.
Yeah. So yeah, I was gonna say I think you're just dead on.
Yeah, I mean maybe not quite on board, but I have no way to come back from there.
Okay. So our misplay did not cost us there. Let's talk about sideboarding really quick. I just typically like bringing in. I was just bringing in Cage in this matchup and nothing else. Matt, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know exactly what your sideboard looks like, but that sounds pretty believable to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like another Chandra, 2 Phoenixes, but I don't, and then Chain Whirlers and Rampaging Frostodons and lands, and I just don't think that any of that big stuff is what this matchup specifically is about.
What does Ferocidon say?
It says that deals 1 damage to creature's controller, and then players can't gain life and has a menace.
I wonder how often that would actually be a problem for me. Just because like I'm trying to win the game with Aetherflux Reservoir, but I could probably like most of the time when I'm getting Aetherflux Reservoir, it's because I'm actually full comboing off, and I could just like play 2 cards and just go get an answer for the Ferocidon before I play the Reservoir.
Yeah, I don't think that that's going to come up. I mean, more likely it's going to stop your Uro from mattering as much, but I also don't think that matters. I also have 3 cages, and I have not liked the 3rd cage, but but I actually board out Chandra in this matchup. I think that it is.
That sounds believable to me. It's just too expensive and slow and more like an attrition-y card.
Exactly. And the other thing that I'm boarding out is the 4th Robber of the Rich. I think that the same thing. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but I'm going to have less cards in hand than you most of the time.
Exactly. If I was going to board in the Frostodons, it would actually just be for the other Robber of the Riches. Like.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I actually might side out and escape the wilds for the 4th Mox Amber as well, just to try to like.
Be faster.
Speed myself up a bit. Yeah. I just cited out the Bala Ged recoveries and the Tameo because they're just too slow. And
yeah, that makes sense.
I cited in a Braids and Aether Gust.
All right, would you like to be on the draw this time? The play didn't work out for you so well.
I would not. Thank you for the offer. I mean, to be fair, that game was fairly close. You just did not draw very much removal, which was what I needed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't capitalize that time, but
Yeah, I do think that this hand is also just a snap keep.
yeah, my hand is also pretty good this game.
So we're gonna go ahead. It's kind of a hard decision. I don't know, Matt. I'll just ask you: would you lead on Bomat or Gitu? I kind of like leading on Gitu Lava Runner, but I am not.
Oh, sorry, I had myself muted. I would lead on Bowman. Is there a reason why you like the Lava Runner?
It is because of the context of the spells in my hand. My initial impression was to lead on Bomat as well, though, so I'm gonna go with that. Like my very initial impression.
Sure. So I'm trying to think of what context it could be. Like you just don't have any spells in your hand.
I have lots of spells in my hand.
Well, that seems like the main reason to lead on the Bowman, right? Because the Get to Lava Runner has haste.
That is true if the spells in my hand end up giving it haste, but I don't think that will be true.
I see.
Like I think that it would have been one more damage to lead on the Get to. Quite the turn from Matt there. I'm going to play this Get to, kill this Emry, and attack.
Yeah, that all tracks. I wanted to play a second or another sphere last turn and not shock myself, but I figured that you were probably going to kill the Emry so that my Mox Amber wouldn't make mana, and I did not have another land, so I needed to get the Mind Stone in play.
Yeah, that makes sense. Uro actually kind of annoying here because of how small our creatures are right now. We're actually kind of in trouble here, to be honest, about this Uro. We kind of need to draw a cage.
Well, if it makes you feel any better about it, I don't have the mana to... Well, I guess I do if I save one of these spheres. But yeah, this is one of the other ways that I could potentially win a game in this match is just like, turn 4 Uro.
Here we kind of want these both to almost be lands.
I mean, land cage, right, would have been the one that you were really hoping for, right?
Sure, yeah. That would have been great too. We might be okay now.
Well, what? No. It's fine. I can still do it, but it is awkward though. I specifically tried to undo my because I brought up the color wheel and I was like, no, I don't want to do this because it's gonna be bad for me. But it really didn't like that.
Yeah, luckily you had two spheres.
Yeah.
These Bomats might turn out to be super lit this game, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they're a lot of mana. But a lot of cards, sorry.
This Uro is slightly annoying. So we don't really have a choice here. We're going to smash this thing into oblivion, and then we will attack. I don't see a reason to pop this Bowmat just yet. Even though it's kind of a waste of a mana, I think that doesn't really matter.
Hmm. Trying to figure out if there's a way that I can do anything better than this, but I can't think of one.
Well, that seems like a fine draw. If you specifically had a land, you're probably okay. No, maybe not.
Oh, I floated the wrong color though. Should have done the other one.
Is there any thought to just cracking this Mind Stone to hit? Okay.
Yeah, that was the plan. But I got really punished for
not floating green.
Yeah, for not floating green.
Well, you will have another Uro, which is kind of nice. Next turn.
I won't though unless I draw land.
Sure, that's fair. I take it that means that that was not a land.
No, it was not.
Well, we are going to get to draw a lot of cards this turn. And hopefully that will just equate to a dead Mackling next turn, basically no matter what. I believe that did equate to a dead Mackling next turn, no matter what.
Yeah, certainly. I didn't have a land still, so.
Yeah, that was a lot of turns where you basically just needed a fourth land and did not get one.
Right.
Like 3 or 4 of them in a row.
Yeah.
With
Again,
a lot of extra drugs.
For not playing the. If I had floated green instead of blue though, I could have played the Llanowar Elf, and then at the very least it makes you deal with it.
Sure. That's fair.
It would have been a lot better.
All right. Well, let's head to the next game. All right. Here we go for the next best of 3. I will be on the play this time. Oh, no. You get a pick.
It doesn't matter. You can be on the play. I think that having them be independent of each other makes more sense. There's no reason to have them carry over into the other one.
We can do that. I'm fine with that. Obviously, because it's benefiting me. This is a pretty easy mulligan in the dark.
Mine is a key. I do not believe that we're playing in the dark either, for what it's worth.
Oh, well. I don't think that I would keep 5 lands, 2 removal spells, so.
Sure, yeah, that just doesn't sound good in any matchup.
I will keep this 1-lander, just because I think going to 5 is a problem. Maybe it wouldn't have been, though. Maybe it's a mistake. But we're going to lead on this get you and hope we draw land. I probably would not keep this hand in a tournament, so I probably shouldn't keep it in a video for what it's worth.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a good rule.
Well, we got real lucky. Ooh, we did not get that lucky. I would not keep this in a tournament, thus I will get max punished for keeping it on camera. Okay. So here, we... Ooh, just popping off there. Pop off a clock. Alright, well, we're gonna kill this. and we're going to be pretty far behind for a minute. Luckily, we turned off Monk's Amber, so I don't know if that's luckily, but am I the only one that likes getting punished for your bad keeps to teach you a lesson? Like, I think that's a, Magic should just do that more often.
Interesting way to look at it.
We is in trouble.
I also want to point out that just because you don't get there doesn't make it a bad keep. I don't know what your hand looked like.
It's mono 2-drops now, but
sure.
Like, obviously I've gotten to play Magic this game, so like obviously
Right.
my hand was somewhat functional, which is why I was willing to keep it. But I do think that I would have mulliganed to 5 in a tournament.
Sure.
Maybe I wouldn't have though. Like, we've cast multiple Wizards Lightnings this game, and it's all dependent, right? Like, on the draw, I think that this hand was a lot better, but I was on the play.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I assumed that we were getting no blocks there.
All I've wanted to do in this whole game is cast this Gigantha, so it'd be weird to block there.
So we're going to go ahead and attack. And I assume that Matt will block.
I don't know if I can block is the problem.
Oh, I like that better.
Yeah, I want my just happening, so.
I like the no block way better.
Yeah, I believe it.
I expect you to block, which is why I made the attack, but alright. Well, that's... Okay. I guess we'll go ahead and do this. By I guess, I mean it's like definitely the right line. It's just... I was very much expecting a different line to happen this turn. I guess it turns off your Mox Amber, which might be what you're thinking.
No, I was thinking I needed a lot of mana this turn. Oh, did I just tap this wrong?
Did you?
Apparently, but I think I can fix it though. It's just actually pretty bad though.
Okay. Oh, I thought that... Oh, it can't be spent on generic mana. Okay. Well, we're gonna see... Escape the Wilds back to your hand, it looks like?
No, I think I'm gonna bring the Kinnan back to my hand.
Sure. And then you can cast it.
Oh, hold on.
That doesn't work unless you tap, yeah.
Well, it would have worked. I just wanted to float it because I have Paradox Engine.
Oh, sure.
I think I'm going to win the game for what it's worth right now.
Oh, nice. That does not surprise me from what's happening right now. Well, it is also good because I think you were pretty close to dead next turn. Oh, I think the Sanctuary just kills me, right?
So yeah, let me demonstrate a little bit though.
Yeah, you're fine. Also, it's important to note that Matt used the Gigantha mana there first, for the blue, and I think that that's important to call out. I don't know if you did that like you personally did that, or if Arena did that for you.
Well, I've been making sure the auto tapper wasn't going to mess it up, but yeah.
Yeah. So,
okay, so now we've just established a combo.
Yep. So here, Matt, you can draw your entire deck and gain infinite life. Well, not infinite life, but
Yeah, it's however many cards I have. Yeah.
Yep. So I will enter Scoopsy Poopsy Scoopsy mode.
Sure. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I'm just gonna keep playing the arrow. It's gonna untap all my permanents. With the trigger on the stack, I would bounce it with the Portal Sanctuary, and
Yep.
Yeah, repeat. And then eventually I would find another Karn, grab Aetherflux Reservoir, and that would be it.
I don't see a reason in which my sideboard would be drastically different. You know what, though? I think that for the purposes of this video, though, I am going to try those Rampaging Froststones over those Robbers.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, making the arrows worse might actually just be real anyway.
Yeah, I think so, too, after those last couple games.
Right. It also shuts off Portal Sanctuary out, so it's not nothing.
I think that this is a keep in this matchup. It might be a keep in every matchup in this format, but...
Yeah, my hand is sketchy at best. So my hand currently is 2 lands, but they're both pathways. So it's not 3 colors of mana. Llanowar Elf, 2 Emrys, and 2 Karns. I think that's probably just not going to work. Because if I play that, like, I could play a turn 2 Emry, so I would keep this in the dark. But in this matchup, if I play the Elf and you just kill it, then I can't play my Emry on 2. So I'm doing nothing on 2, having to draw either an artifact or a land to even make my hand functional after that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I also am not going to have red mana because I'm going to have to lead on blue-green first.
Yep.
So.
I mean, you have to lead on green with the hand you have, so.
Right. This hand is also not functional, only because it doesn't have any green mana in it.
Well, did you get the 5 that's going to kill me?
I got a 5 that can play magic.
The best kind of 5.
Yeah. It's hard to ask for more than that on a 5.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and just play this raw and attack.
I actually remember seeing mono red lists that were main decking Grafdigger's Cage for a while.
They were, yeah. They were specifically main decking 2 of them for quite some time, as far as I remember.
Right.
I did not see any doing that when I was looking for a list for this, for what it's worth.
Sure.
So here we have a couple of options. We've got, but I'm just going to do this one because I think that getting this on board will be the best way to. I think that Uro is one of Matt's better ways to victory here.
Right.
And so I want the Rampaging Frostodon on board. Let's see what that gets. Play this. Deal this here. Attack here. Attack here. Attack here.
Is there a reason to do that more convoluted like that instead of just attacking the Karn with the Frostodon?
I enjoyed it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's the line that I thought of. Like, it got me to the purpose without me having to do extra thinking, right?
Sure.
So.
I just feel like that's the kind of thing that leads to more misclicks than...
Oh, I mean, I'm the type of person that misclicks a lot, so even that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, taking lines like that.
I mean, we got to the same endpoint, Matt. Well, that was almost a want for me. You just have to crack those spheres, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I could do, right? Like, I had a shock land, so it wasn't even... Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah, that's GG's. Yeah, those Frostodons actually don't seem bad for what it's worth.
Oh, I forgot that I was.
Oh crap! I forgot to side out my cards though.
Oh, nice. Just playing the 64 card special.
Yeah, that's awkward. Or the 66 card special.
Oh, nice. Apparently, it's lucky.
Am I really playing 66? Did I just straight up? I boarded out the Robbers. I just didn't board out the Chandra, so I'm playing 62.
Okay. Certainly not as bad.
That's so funny. Yeah, 62. I've got, yeah. That's so funny. Do as I say, not as I do, fam.
I think the elf often leads to an interesting decision for you, especially on the draw, because like it is pretty important to kill it, but also then you're down removal spells for other things.
Yeah. Gonna go ahead and lead on Gitu and say go. So the reason to lead on Gitu over Bowmat here is that if I draw a Wizard's Lightning, I want to be able to use it. No, we're like in kind of trouble now. Maybe I was supposed to kill the elf. Just your whole hand gone. That's turn 2 that I've ever seen. All right.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that was a strong turn 2 for me, for what it's worth.
All right, we're going to attack here. So with the... Oh man, this is like kind of a hard decision. This Chandra in my hand looks so stupid. All right. So I kind of need to kill this elf to keep Matt off of 5 mana.
You have to kill 2 elves to do that.
Well, I can't kill 2 elves.
Well, then I'm not sure that there's a reason to kill 1.
And we're going to attack first.
Like, I mean, killing an elf at this point, all it really does is make me closer to Uro, right?
Yeah. For some reason, why does killing an elf not work? So you have 4... Oh, you have 5... Yeah, okay, I just counted your mana wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
I just have 6 mana right now.
Yeah, I just counted your mana wrong. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do this. Okay. I actually think that this game has suddenly become about this.
I actually wonder if you should have just attacked first. I'm definitely going to block, and then you could have played the Chandra post-combat.
Well, that was my first line, but I think that I'm going to. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe my initial line was better. I didn't want you to get Uro next turn, is where things landed. But maybe the Giganta is actually just so good that I needed to. I feel like I needed to save my resources specifically for Uro. Was the reason that I did that.
Sure.
I don't think I care about this at all.
Frostodon is really good.
Yeah, I agree. So we have the Shatter Skull Smashing in my hand, and the question is whether or not we want the mana over the next 2 turns, or if we want to be able to kill these elves. Matt is still short on stuff in his yard, so there's like not a reason for me to currently kill elves.
Yeah, I could set up for a lethal attack rate would be the best reason to do it.
What do you mean?
Well, like if you spend 4 mana to kill 2 elves and then minus the Chandra on another elf or whatever, and then I only have 1 blocker.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So like, the question here becomes, what is this game about? And with the 8 damage literally in my hand, I think that I need the land in play.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, and once again, I just think that Chandra's already doing the work she needs to do. It doesn't really matter if she minuses this game. Oh, that actually might just be lethal. So make 2 mana, 3, 3, 3, attack, block. This has menace. I think that's just lethal. I don't know what Matt could have.
Aether Gust.
Do you have it?
Aether Gust. Uro.
For what it's worth, I did have more burn in my hand, so it was.
What was your last card?
It was a Vishino Pyromancer, but if you didn't double block the Uro, then even Aether Gust wouldn't save you. So.
If I didn't do what?
If you didn't double block the Ferocitodon, then like.
No, I would have gusted the Ferocitodon.
Oh, sure.
And then I would have played the Uro and gone back up to 4.
Sure, that makes sense. And you could have killed the Chandra. Well, I went for it.
I don't. For what it's worth, I think it's correct to go for it. I just wanted to point out that I did have outs to that.
Yeah.
I mean, a braid would have also done it. It would have been the same exact thing.
Sure. Let's stop this recording and go back to our conversation. That was a more interesting matchup than I expected.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I actually enjoyed it quite a bit more than I thought I would. I think that the games drug on a little bit longer than they needed to because I just didn't want to concede for the video's sake. But
yeah.
But yeah, I think the early game had a lot of really interesting decisions.
That was exactly the thing I was going to say. Is like my turn 1 and your turn 1 interact with each other in kind of like weird, is dichotomy the right word, where like what you do can completely change how I play how I can play the first 2 turns,
Right.
and vice versa, right? Like if I'm on the play, it can change how you have to handle those first few turns, and
Right.
it also makes the game kind of this, like, I don't know if cat and mouse is the right thing to say, but like understanding, for what it's worth, had you kept that Emry hand in that game 3, I actually think you would have won, because I only had 1 removal spell.
Well, I mean, that hand needed a lot of help to get there, even if you had nothing, right? Like, it was like Llanowar Elf, 2 lands, Emry, Karn, right? Like, it doesn't really do anything by itself.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is that, like, you know, the game is, I don't know if it's condensed into a smaller portion of the overall game, but it's really interesting and it makes certain turns really impactful.
Right, definitely. I also think that we both really underestimated the impact of Uro in the matchup, and I mean that became clear when we saw how good Ferocidon was in the post-board games. Like,
yeah, I agree.
And Uro, like, single-handedly winning me, or potentially winning me at least 1 game, and
could have won you another one pretty easily had I not had the other removal for it.
Right.
Yeah, the matchup I still think is heavily mono red favored, but not like an 80-20.
Yeah, I agree that it's definitely mono red favored for sure. It's definitely a matchup you would be looking to hit with Burn.
Yeah, overall I think that the best part of this video was me winning with a Chandra that was supposed to be boarded out. But other than that, I don't know. I enjoyed this week's clash.
Yeah, I thought it was a good time.
Yeah, so leave a comment, let us know. Oh, also, what was that mulligan from earlier? Do you remember?
I told you what it was right at the time.
Oh,
That's right. It was land, Llanowar Elf, Kinnan, Mindstone, Paradox Engine, Karn.
Yeah, I remember now. Well, if you could have seen how Matt wins the turn immediately on that single turn, leave a comment. If you have certain ways you want these to go, I enjoy the 3 best of 3. I actually think the format's fun, and I'm excited to continue doing this. Really excited for the new standard format to start, so we can start doing that. But let us know what decks you want us to play for Historic next week, and we'll see you guys all next time on another Constructed Clash.